What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 195, I think, and we start today's episode off by putting a new bid for Daniel Atta, otherwise known as Zlatan's regen. We put in a bid of £9 million, just a straight bid, and we'll wait and see what St Etienne say. Would love to get hold of the guy, but we'll just have to wait and see. And also, Leyton Orient rejected a bid for Tom Turgot. They wanted £18.5 million plus Akpom for the striker, and it's like, he's a 77 overall rated striker. Of course, we know that, as I can check his overall and his stats as I manage England. And am I really going to pay that much for the guy? No, I don't think so. So yeah, forget that. I put in a new bid. We'll wait and see if they accept it, but I'm fine looking for other targets because I don't want to be held to ransom like that. I think it's just really I said this before. I think it's ridiculous how, you know, some new gen / regens can end up playing for lower league clubs, which is fine. That's totally fine and stuff. But when the clubs hold you to a ridiculous ransom over them, you know, not many clubs would do that in real life. Some might, but not all the time. I mean, you know, Luke Daniels, for example, an 88 overall rated goalkeeper playing for Charlton at the Valley, is still not, not someone who you can buy unless you spend £30 million plus. It's not going to happen in real life. You know, that player is going to hand in a transfer request as soon as he knows there's interest. But let's stop talking about that because I'm being too negative and too critical of the game. So let's get back to the game and what we're doing right now. New bid for Daniel Atta, £10 million plus Benny Kofobe, and we'll wait and see what St Etienne say. And also as well, Leyton Orient once again, they just keep on saying no. So I was like, forget it. I'm not going to pay that much for a 77 overall rated striker. And there you go. And also Fiorentina, they said that the bid for Richard Lazzarini was not good enough and he was too valuable for them, which is a bit of a shame, because he'd be a good signing for us, a backup left back for the future. And he's also got a skull cap for his player picture. That's pretty cool, isn't it? But also Odubajo comes in as well. So a new signing for us, Craig Odubajo from DC United. As I did mention, he is a 77 overall rated striker. You can see his stats here, 85 finishing at just 21 years old. Gotta like that, don't you? So yeah, I'm okay with that. So Leyton Orient missed out on a pretty decent deal for one of their players because they were holding us to ransom. Instead, we go over to America and get one of the players from DC United, and we'll take him. I think Tom Turgot might be Jermaine Defoe's regen because Toronto play in the MLS, and by the time when I started this game, Defoe was still contracted to Toronto. Of course, now he's at Sunderland, but back then he was contracted to Toronto. So I would think that he's probably Defoe's regen. So, you know, Defoe, a very nice finisher of the ball. I'm pretty happy that we got his regen, if he is his regen. And there you go. And also we put in a bid for Luke Garbutt as well. Now, this guy had a pretty decent World Cup for us, and I'd like to sign Luke Garbutt, 88 overall left back, 27 years old, a perfect replacement for Kieran Gibbs, but Dortmund are not going to let go of the guy unless we spend like £40 million plus, presumably, so I don't see that deal coming off. And as you can see, another reject for Lazzarini there, which is a bit of a shame. We do put in a new bid for the guy though, and we're waiting to see what they say, because he's 20 years old, he's already 75 overall. I'd imagine he can get into the low 80s. He does have the showing great potential tag, so I would like to get hold of the guy, and he's got a skull cap for his player picture, so it makes everything fine. I think I just said that, didn't I? Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what Fiorentina say. We put in a new bid for the guy, and I think we probably won't get hold of him because they just don't seem to want to get rid of him, but we'll have to wait and see, and there you go. We also saw that finally St Etienne accepted a bid for Daniel Atta, Zlatan's regen, of £10 million plus of Phobe. Now, obviously, we just signed Odubajo, so we don't really need this guy, but he is Zlatan's regen. He does have the potential to be special. We do want to sign those young players for Arsenal. We do want to transform this club, so even though we don't specifically need him this season, I still think it would be wise to get him whilst we know we can afford him. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to be a few seasons down the line, or however long this career mode lasts for, knowing that we'd like to sign Zlatan's regen, but we just can't afford him, you know, because he's just progressed so well in his career. But there you go. Still, we have a squad report as well. This is because we're just about to start a new season with Arsenal, so you can see how the players are doing. Now, a couple of you guys on Twitter, it's still the 11th of March for me, a couple of you guys on Twitter had been saying the reason you didn't want a financial takeover is because you were worried that we were going to completely restructure the team in the first transfer window, and there'll be no work to do, you know, after this transfer window, you know, because we just had the best squad possible. As you can see by this squad report, that's clearly not the case. Yes, we got some very good players. Nyangs came in, he's a headline signing for us, 86 overall. Yes, we got quite a few players in the mid 80s, or some of them in the low 80s as well. But as you can see by the team, it certainly isn't job done right now. You know, there are still players like Dzeko and Vargas and Koscielny who we want to shift on as soon as possible. Debussy and Cazorla are retiring at the end of the season, so we can't get rid of those guys until their contracts run out. But there's still a ton of work to do. Like, if you think this squad is what we want this squad to be like for the foreseeable future, you know, it's not. Put it this way, there's a lot of work to do, both for the squad, so that's the reserves and the bench, and also the first 11. There are still players in there like Ozil, like Sanchez, players who are in their 30s right now. Kieran Gibbs now 30 years old, or possibly 31 I think, who are going to need long-term replacements. You know, we're going to need to sign long-term replacements for those players, so there's still a lot of work to do. So as I mentioned in the last episode, when I bought the financial takeover, it was always going to be just for one player. The next few £1 million will be something like a youth scout. I'm still waiting for a 5-star experience and judgment one to come available. There's none available right now. Once there is, I'll sign one, and you know, there'll be like £2 million left over after that, and we'll just sign it on whoever. So there you go, don't worry, you know, I did keep my word, and I will do so. So there you go. Still, we do take on Chelsea for the first game of the season here as we travel to Stamford Bridge to take on Mourinho's men, and it's the worst possible start. 7 minutes in, Diego Costa gives Chelsea the lead after Schürrle's crossing from the left hand side. And unfortunately for us, Costa makes it 1-0 to Chelsea. And one of the problems with this Arsenal team is that the defence, it's not very solid in terms of height and aerial ability. And it was showed there. There were two players going for that header. I think it was Ramsey and Gibbs. Neither of them got there, and Costa headed it past Szczesny and made it 1-0. So the worst possible start to this game here at Stamford Bridge for our first game of the new season. And, you know, the board want us to win the league title. Chelsea won it last year. They'll be a title rival. To go 1-0 down 7 minutes into the opening game of the season, it's not what you want. So direct from kickoff, we almost responded instantly. Niang making his debut for the club, almost making it 1-1, but his shot was well saved by Chag and cleared away. And in the 12th minute here, Sanchez goes down his left-hand side and back heels it towards Kieran Gibbs. Gibbs swings the ball into the centre, and Rodrigo Lazari heads it past Cech and makes it 1-1. And you guys did point out last season when we came in, Lazari, well, he wasn't playing. He scored 10 Premier League goals in the games he played for us since we installed him into the first team. I don't know why. I just have a real good knack of, you know, bringing out the best young players for a team. I really do, you know. And Lazari is showing that right now. He's now an 83 rated striker. He's very clinical, and that's a lovely header by the Italian as he makes it 1-0. And just like we did with Coulomb at PSG, you know, we installed this guy who wasn't getting game time into the first team, and he performed, and he continues to do so. So Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1, Lazari with the goal. And in the 43rd minute, Ozil finds Niang, who Ronaldo chops around Matic, spreads that wide towards Joel Campbell down his right hand side. He plays it to Ozil. Ozil keeps holding the ball, threads it through towards Lazari, fake shots around Socrates, and he hits the post with his first attempt. But thankfully for us, we get a very big stroke of fortune, a nice slice of luck, because the ball rebounds straight to Lazari. He has an open goal, and Rodrigo Lazari scores his second goal of the game and makes it Chelsea 1, Arsenal 2. So Rodrigo Lazari gets the goal, and he and Niang are going to work together in a strike partnership this year. The formation I'm going to play, I showed you a minute ago, is going to be a 4-4-2 diamond wide. I think these two as a strike partnership could work wonders. Niang and Lazari together could be a great combination, and in this game, both goals came through the Italian, and it was Chelsea 1, Arsenal 2 as we turned the game on its head. In the 47th minute though, 2 minutes after the restart, Chelsea almost got themselves back on level terms. Thorgan Hazard finds Willian, who strikes it, and it's a good save by Szczesny as he turns it behind for a corner. So still 2-1 to Arsenal, with Chelsea pressing and looking for the equalising goal. And in the 56th minute, they had another great chance here. Willian going down his left-hand side. He finds Diego Costa, who turns Ryan Sarr, plays the ball across the face of goal, and Schürrle's strike goes into the side netting and behind for a goal kick. So still 2-1, but a lot of chances for Chelsea. They really did come out of the blocks flying in the second half. But in the 67th minute here, a great chance for us to make it 3-1 from this free kick. Sanchez is 37 yards out. I tried to drill it with the L1 and circle button. It takes a wicked deflection off the wall and creeps just wide of the post and into the side netting. So that would have been a pretty fortunate goal for us, but it was still 2-1. And in the 75th minute, as Chelsea committed bodies forward, we had a great chance to wrap the 3 points up here and make it 3-1. Sanchez finds Niang down the left-hand side. Ronaldo chops around Socrates, but unfortunately for us, his shot goes just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So Niang was desperate for a debut goal in this game as he tried to make it 3-1 and completely wrap the points off. And we did have a lot of chances as well. A lot of good opportunities laid on as Chelsea push men forward here. Another great chance for Niang with a quick little Berber spin, then a quick little roulette inside, and the shot is brilliantly saved by Cech. What a stop that is, tipping the ball onto the top of the bar, and eventually it goes behind for a goal kick. So still Chelsea 1, Arsenal 2, and yet another chance in the 84th minute as Gibbs plays the ball down the left-hand side towards Alexis Sanchez. Brilliant chance to make it 3-1 here to wrap the game up. Sanchez goes through and shoots himself, but again, we are denied by Petr Cech making the save, and Chelsea get the ball away. So still 2-1, and again, another chance to completely wrap the game up in the 90th minute here in stoppage time as Chelsea, they ran out of steam. Lazari goes one-on-one with Boateng and beats him with a couple of lovely skill moves, gets himself inside. Can he finish? Sadly not, because again, we're thwarted by Cech, and it's saved and put behind for a corner. But always how the game would finish, Chelsea 1, Arsenal 2, so the perfect start to the season. It looked as though when Diego Costa scored the opening goal, it was going to be a disastrous start, but instead it was the perfect start. We beat a title rival away from home on game game 1. The board have high ambitions for us this season. This is the perfect way to start with a big win, and we're very pleased with that. And that is going to end the episode. So as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.